right. Hey, Sister Image, child. I kind of knew you were going to be the first one on scene. How's your spirit? Let me fix my brightness real quick. A little much. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hitting the like as you come in. If you catch me on the replay, please make sure that you like and share with your community. Y'all know that YouTube and stuff. Like I said, support independent content creators. Hit me up on Buy Me a Coffee. Cash App's always cool too. Anyway, um, I know I promised that I would try to make sure that I posted at least 30 minutes before I go live. But this one was one of those that just kept weighing on me throughout the morning. Hey, March Harris, how's your spirit? And so I really thought that, you know what, Janine, just go ahead and get into it. Sorry about the glare back there. It is hot in the desert, though. We haven't broken 100 yet. We'll do that sometime this afternoon. I hope y'all can hear me all right. I'm using this left headphone, so we'll see how it goes. Um, so the reason for this topic, start there. Uh, Yesterday, I stayed out of the way and focused on me and preparing for the upcoming week. Um, Sister EH has a way of being first on scene, and I appreciate that. But Mark Harris is upset. You'll be all right, March. You, you can get to the head of the class just the same. It's not who gets here first. It's who you know gets the grade that matters. How about that? So anyway, yesterday I stayed out of the way, but about midway through the day, Spirit was like, change your clothes and go out into the common area. Just do that. It said something about a blessing, and I'm not sure if what I received was a blessing, but it was useful information in a way. So later on in the day, I would receive some more information, and it's been on my mind heavy. So this morning, I was like, well, maybe we need to talk about it. You are the internet. Listen, even internet dads can get ahead in class if they show up, focus, and listen. If you do not get into the messy with Sister Enid, you'll have a better chance of getting ahead in class. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So um, yesterday though, two physical altercations took place, and people had to be removed from the property. Now, in one situation, I overheard one of the female aggressors 2 to 3 days prior having discussions about her rah rah when she was younger, how she don't take S off of nobody, how I'm a fighter, that. Please forgive the noise in the background. We'll do what we can. Spirit also told me to stay on property today. I was gonna go off. I was gonna go get me a cup of coffee, and then my friend came, not that friend, a gentleman associate of mine came through and gave me some extra coffee today. So good morning. So I didn't have a reason. I got a full cup, so I stayed here. And I had some oatmeal and more than the mirrors. The spirit started moving, so I definitely stayed put. uh, yes. Well, I don't know that she was plotting, Mark, but what I can say is that's the reason for the second half of this post. First, excessive aggressive energy, that's one thing we'll talk about, but speaking things to existence, that's the second half of the discussion, or the second part of the title anyway. You find yourself talking about the same things over and over again. All you're doing is speaking them into existence. You telling everybody about your gangster, about how rah rah you is. Even in my case, telling people, listen, I got complex PTSD, which means that my crazy is complex. Don't play with me. Said too many times or to the wrong person too often. Ooh, have mercy. There we go. You can definitely end up speaking it into existence. Someone's gonna want to test you eventually. And it may not be another person, it could be the universe, it could be some nasty little spirit, it could be a host of things. You're tested anyway. This is why also, let me just say, when you're in a relationship with someone, don't shit test your relationship. The world is going to do that for you. There will come plenty of things along your path. People who are jealous, people who don't understand how you can smile through homelessness, through whatever it is. They are going to test you. So why would you put the burden of testing your relationship on you or your partner? Why would you put it out in the atmosphere for someone to come and test you? Now, I'm very honest. I'm nonviolent because I don't know what my crazy will do. I've never let that demon off the leash because should I black out, who's not coming back? Am I going to come back from that experience? I've told you before that I also live with DID, dissociative identity disorder. So I have personalities. My gentleman friend says that I have lots of character. I take it. Yeah, the sun is doing its thing, March. I'm not even going to front, so I'm glad that you can see me. I had to adjust accordingly. I want to take my glasses off just because I keep seeing my reflection or the reflection of the sun, and it is bugging me, so forgive me, y'all. Okay, there we go. Whew, that's a little bit better. So, I don't let my, like I told you all that on Tuesday of this past week, I nearly had that out of body experience. My spirit could feel that someone was somehow in some way attacking me, and it wanted to come to the surface and protect me. And that protector spirit isn't always nice. It's a part of me. We all live with, the two sides of us. The side of us that gets along with the world, and the side of us that we fuck the world up, and the world decides not to get along with us, right? So I've honed all five of what were my personalities back into this one body. And I live a life of equilibrium so as not to have any one of them have the main goal or focus. I can't, Mark. All I can see is the light shining back at me. I can barely see me with them on. So forgive me for the moment. I will sit on the other side, but then people are more likely to run into me than not, to be honest. I'll be slammed into a lot. But so I listened, and I'm someone who I will be present when a conversation is taking place, and if I'm spoken to directly to, I will listen and engage accordingly. Uh, Yet I may not give you the what's the word I'm looking for? I may not give you the response that you anticipate. Right, the reflection, and not so much balance, because balance is this thing where you're still going back and forth, right? So when it comes to equilibrium, you got a line across here, and you got a little rocker at the bottom, right? So you're more likely to be able to stay in alignment when you're trying to balance your masculine and your feminine on a regular basis, or your yin and your yang, or whatever you want to call it. You're doing this dance all the time. Something can sway you one way or the other. When you've got equilibrium, you've got that line across the top. It's like one of those newer seesaws with a little rocker on the bottom, or like a boat, right? And so you stay level, but you're still moving with what's going on. You're more likely to be able to stay afloat than if you're balancing. Someone will tip you over and you will fall in. But when it comes to being in alignment or having equilibrium, you are more steady. There's continuity, continuity of care, continuity of government. Continuity is what we're looking for, almost more than consistency, right? You want to be continuous. You don't want, I would rather have a consistent showing of steadiness than peaks and valleys, if that makes sense. You know, your heart does what it does. So when you see the little thing, it up, up, up. But if you were to ever actually look at it, you don't want those peaks to be any higher at any one given time. It means that you're in distress. It means you're going through a thing. You don't want them to dip any lower because it means you're in distress. You could be even in crisis at that point. So when you've got equilibrium, you've got continuity. It's calm, steady, slow, even. Slow and steady wins the race. You know this, right? So show up in a calm manner. Young lady asked me yesterday how it is that I master my emotions. She said, "You're very even, very calm, even in situations." I'm someone who, even like as a culinarian, being in the weeds was great to me because it was an opportunity to perform under pressure and never let my accuracy or acuity dip because of this situation. In fact, I am more likely to make an error, not anymore, but I was more likely to make an error during the lows than I was during the highs. Now I worked it out so we're consistent, continuous. You don't have to worry about what you're going to get from me. When I'm having difficult days, i.e., physically, there's pain going on. Right, it can make you anxious, March, if you're not prepared for the idea that a wave is going to come. But if you notice, a boat, even when a wave comes, still says this way for as long as it can. Now, when the waves get really wacky, you're going to ride. You want to be at the top of that wave. You want to be riding it. You don't want it to swell up and take you over. So, when it comes to speaking things into existence, if you're constantly speaking about aggression, if you're constantly speaking about the bad bee that you used to be or the one you claim to be today, then that is what people see in you. That's what they gravitate to, that's what they expect from you, and eventually you're going to be tested on that thing. People see me as calm. They gravitate towards my calmness. Now, from time to time, they want to test my calm, and I check them accordingly. Now, I may have given you all this example before, or I may have told you the story, but I make it an example now. This particular day, I was going to get my evening medications, and you had to go and stand in line. Even that glare is bothering me. Have mercy. Okay. So you have to go and stand in line in order to be able to get your medications or sit in line, right? This young lady, whom I don't know, she doesn't even make conversation with me on the regular basis. But she was definitely interested in my gentlemanship frame, right? Which, do your thing, pimpin'. I'm not your competition. You not mine. My job is to maintain his attention. I do that just fine. Your job is to see if you can take it from me. I suppose. I don't know. I don't get that thing. I'm not trying to take nobody else's anybody, and I'm certainly not trying to compete with anybody but me. Okay? The last iteration with me, which is the chick I was yesterday, every day I'm a new being. Okay? I know. Hat to the back. Trying to get the best of my love. It's TLC. Anyway, shout out to hip hop. Happy 50th anniversary. I'm 2 years younger than hip hop. Ah, man, that's just crazy to me. But anyway, so I'm sitting in my seat, and she sits catty corner to me, kind of, a little off to the side across from me. And she doesn't speak to me the other time. She's like, I saw you, and what's his name? You know his name. It started with that letter. I looked at her like, Pimpin', I know you know his name. You holler it out on a regular basis when we're together because you be trying to draw his attention from me to you, and you can't hold it if you can get it. So, anyways, I saw y'all off property headed to the Circle K. I was like, Okay. I didn't ask, but I'm thinking, what do you want me to say? Yeah, I saw y'all. I was like, gave it a thumbs up, put my headphones in, and minded my damn business. Because you see us on property, walking and talking. From the door to the kitchen, to the pool table, to the couch, to the wherever. Been watching. Right, Sister Enage, all up in the business. You want to know so badly you couldn't help yourself but to open your mouth. And when you come playing in my face, I'ma play in your feelings. You still trying to figure out what the hell we about. And it ain't none of your damn business, or you would have been invited to the party. So again, as I said, people will test you wherever you at. You tested my calm to see if I was gonna come out of frame, give you extra information, or any of those things. And what you found out is I'm not the one to play with. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of getting me out my body in any way. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of giving you information about what's going on in my life. Because you're not a part of my life. You're not a part of my journey. You're not a part of my destiny. You are a gnat flying next to me. Something that I would flick if I didn't care so much about all of my father's creations. That part, March Harris, I saw you and him walking in the rain. I played that song too. It's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so concerned, right? That particular person in their feelings to this day. Do I care? No, but stay out my way. Don't come trying to be my friend all of a sudden, trying to get in, find out what my life is like, what I got going on, how you can be a part of me. You can't be a part of me. You can't be like me. You can't look like me. You can't live like me. You can't talk like me. You can't walk like me. Sister Ede, man. I think that was the first song. It's the Orange Juice Jones song. I think that was the first song where I ever heard a man like talking smack to a woman on a song. I mean, it may have happened before. I mean, we all heard Lenny Williams and whatnot, but that was different. It was a love song. But this was like, yeah, no, you're going to have to get back all that ish I ever gave you. Go ahead and give me them keys. Give me them this. Give me that. I was like, ooh, wait, that man is taking you out. What you going to do? Why would you do that? Why would you put your existence in jeopardy like that? If you're going to leave him, leave him. If you're not gonna do whatever it is, go somewhere else. Don't be out in the middle of the street just putting it all on display and whatnot, unless you're trying to make a damn statement. Now if your statement is, I'm through with this person, that's how you go about it. But you had better have a backup plan, because the way that Orange Juice Jones song sounded, you ain't had no backup plan. That man you was walking in the rain holding hands wasn't coming back for you. Same with this situation. If you're gonna be talking up a fight, one, you're gonna have to be ready to fight. Two, you're gonna have to be ready to be leaving here. And do you have somewhere to go? If you had somewhere to go, why are you here? I'll let that go. But anyway, why put yourself in the position to be left out in the cold, or in this case, the heat? Honey, there's some rain coming in the next day or two, and that's got it all sticky and sweaty and muggy. It's gonna be over 103 in the afternoons. You ain't got no car. You living in your car. You can't keep your car on all the time because you will run down your battery and burn up some shit. Like, did you think it through? Before you decided to go to blows, did you really think it through? I was listening to people, and I'm guilty of saying it. You can't put your hands on me. Oh, don't put your hands on me. However, I recognize this is something that we tell men all the time. If she hits you, just walk away. Don't engage. And truly, when you are in a state of alignment, you don't have to respond with violence. Just because someone is aggressive towards you, violent towards you, speaks ill on your name even, does not mean that you react in kind. Fighting fire with fire is not really something you do. Some firefighters do, and it don't always work out for the best for them either. But I'm just saying, it's not something that you have to do. Fight fire with faithfulness. Know that God got you. Know that He gonna handle the demons and everything in between. Don't let it bog you down. Indeed, March Harris, lots of people lack critical thinking skills. They believe that because they have something to say, that's enough. Have you actually thought it through though? Like discernment, intuition, the ability to read a situation or a room. How long does it take you to do that before you engage, disengage, or go your own way? You understand? People don't really do that. Most people are fight or flight. And I told you I have fight, flight, or freeze. There's a fourth response. I would have to ask Sister Cola because I can't remember at the moment. Which, oh my God, never mind. I was about to say something, but not important. Silence speaks volumes. And that's one of those things, there's that t-shirt that says, white silence is violence. Well, black collusion is too. You go get with them folks who don't really give a damn about you because you think that they on your side while they talking about one of your peers or siblings or whatever. And then one day you find out they ain't there for you either. You should have played your role, shut your mouth, and stayed in your lane. Out of the way of the situation entirely. We do what we do. We are who we are. You can't make someone change. They have to decide to change. And most snakes shed their skin to become bigger snakes. So never forget it. In a New York Minute, March Harris. Now, I have come to a better understanding, so I don't disengage as early as I would before. I will hear someone out. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stay though. Like, if you want me to have an understanding of why you behave the way that you behave, okay, I'll hear you out. If your behavior is not in alignment with my state of being, baby, at the end of the conversation, I'm still leaving. And you gotta be able to be okay with that. I don't have to accept what it is that you're offering. I can hear out your offer and walk away. That's true of anything. So if you're out here negotiating a contract or job or whatever it is, please keep that in mind. You can hear out the offer. That does not obligate you to take it. Okay? You can negotiate if it seems somewhere within reason of what it is that you're trying to achieve. If it's just out of pocket, it's time for you to leave. Do not accept just anything off of anyone, because they'll believe you'll accept anything. Now, here's the other piece to this title and this conversation. You are the energy you put out into the world. So if everything you do comes with a slam, a huff, a puff, or some fit of rage or anger, you are putting aggressive energy out into the world. You're inviting aggression and negativity into your state of being. Eventually, that is going to catch up with you, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. It's gonna take hold of you. He said, gotta go, pimpin'. Peace out. Anyway. I want to one day have a debate on a side note really quickly about pimping. Here's why. I was watching this Ava and Preach video, and they were discussing Andrew Tate and how basically he was an internet pimp, and how pimps are these vile, low life creatures of humanity, so to speak. And I have I don't want to say a soft spot, for lack of a better word. I have a soft spot for pimps. I think it's because I grew up in Memphis, and like I said, I never wanted to be a hoe, but I will pimp the shit out of you if you want me to. See, here's the thing. I just really quick. I'm not going to say that I know. I know, March I just, hey, peace out. Gotta go, pimping. I'm gonna holler at you later. What we not gonna do is this shit right here. But what I'm gonna say, I don't think that pimps do it from a place of love. Don't get me wrong. Yet that is still someone who, done properly, will protect you from a host of other demons. Now they're asking you to do a seedy thing. However, are they asking you, or are you putting yourself in that position? I am not advocating for any of those other things, so don't come at me with the child trafficking, sex, I am talking about adults. I am talking about a grown woman recognizing the value of her vagina and a man who's willing to protect her while she goes out and makes her money. I also believe that at this point, sex work should be legal. I mean, let's just talk about it. There are entire videos on people who have been paying for it. You got OnlyFans, you got Pornhub, and everything in between. But the ones who are actually doing the dirty work, you want to call them criminals and take their life, if not livelihood, or at least their livelihood from them. It's a discussion to be had. Now, the lines in the sand, that's something to be talked about as well. Yet a full-blown understanding of what it could be. I mean, think about brothels and madams and those things. There are ways to do these things that keep more people safe than not, I suppose. Right, March. Some pimps do have, like, they can turn they can make money, and they can, this girl needs to go with that man because she gonna make him happy that night, and she gonna do it because of this. They can see the things that others may not see because they are blinded by their lust. While a pimp is a businessman, he is focused on the money. He is focused on the metric. He is focused on the such and such. You understand? I am not advocating for pimps and hoes. I'll be honest, right? It's just that I recognize the business of it and the ability to make it more accessible, more clean, more, what's the word I'm trying to get? Forgive me, spirit ain't helping. The spirit was like, I don't know, JP, we don't know how we're going to do with this one. Let you do that to yourself. But okay, back to the conversation. If you wake up and you can't get out your bed without being bothered by being awake, you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you open your eyes, if the first thing you do is sigh, if you open your eyes and the first thing you do is cry, you open your eyes, the first thing you do is think, damn, I'm awake. Well, fuck me. Why does God keep waking you up then? You understand what I'm saying? Eventually he's gonna be like, all right, you ain't got to wake up today. If the moment that you arise from your bed, you gotta stomp over to something. You gotta slam something down. You gotta bang on this. What's happening? What is happening that you cannot start your day in peace? You know, March Harris is a little bit behind, so he's still on the pimping thing, and he's like, yes, lay the example over the business template and it matches. Yeah, there was a little wordplay there, March Harris, which you say no pun intended, so we're gonna let it go. But when you can see the business behind a thing, you can clean up a thing. You know, when you can see the reason for being in the morning, you are less likely to fight being in the morning. You're less likely to fight the sunlight. You're less likely to be mad about the space that you live in. You're less likely to be an intolerable being. Because people are going to eventually stop tolerating you. You understand? I guess what I'm saying is, find your way to peace in all things. If nothing else, at least try to start with being peaceful in the morning and being peaceful before you go to bed. Even better if you can achieve waking up happy and going to bed with a smile on your face. That's God's grace. That's the thing given to you for the hard day's work. You've earned your space. You know what I'm saying? I wish that the human requirement were God's requirement, if that makes sense. God is going to bless you for being a blessing, not because you know he's going to bless you, but because it's the right thing to do. God is going to bless you because you can appreciate the smallest thing that he's given to you. Breath. Can you wake up and be thankful for the breath so that you don't use it excessively? You know what I mean? Can you wake up and be thankful for the day so that you make the most out of every day given to you? Can you wake up and pray and say thank you for everything so that others cannot prey upon you every day? Can you be at peace? During the storms? Can you recognize the beauty and the glory in the lightning and the thunder and the raindrops and the fact most people are even afraid to come outside? That's what we had before we had anything else, before we had means and money as a metric, before we claimed any piece of land as our own, claimed all of the land as ours to roam. We went on journeys. We exploring tribes, navigators. We were one with the land and the air and the universe, and we created everything out of nothing. Now we have everything and create nothing. We raise nothing. We speak nothing. We read nothing. We automate life, so much so that damn near everything is done for us. The test is, what can you do for self when God has given you nothing but the basics? Breath, air, water, seed. What can you achieve with just those things? You may not be able to walk, but can you crawl to plant a seed and water it daily? You may not be able to talk, but can you plant a seed and water it daily? You don't have to be able to read to plant a seed and water it daily. That instruction is given to you by your Creator, because it's what He has done for you. He has provided the seed, the air, the water, the land, and thus everything you need to succeed. And when you start focusing on the wrong things, you will slowly notice those things being taken from you, so that you can get back to the root, to the core of who you are and how you got here and how you walked this life before you had these devices and vices. It's up to you. Despite the world around you, you can plant a seed every day. You can water it, you can nurture it, you can feed it, you can talk to it. You can help it grow. You'll notice sometimes that the sunlight hits it too much on one side, so it starts to lean over. You'll put a stake on that side so it'll straighten up again, grow big and tall, right? What do you do that with in your life today when you're holding on to devices and vices? It's not hard to pick up a trade. It is hard to go your own way in a world full of people who, yes, Mark, played music, in a world full of people who have chosen to conform, to assimilate, to become one with the Matrix, so to speak. It is difficult to go your own way, to set out on a journey of understanding who you are truly meant to be without all of these things. Then, just like in the movie, you can pop in and out of the Matrix as many times as you need to set other people free. To plant a seed, to offer guidance, to be the world's realignment. Here's the thing, March. Sometimes it's not going the opposite way. It could be walking a parallel path, but it's your path to walk. You've chosen it. You can see what's right next to you. Like that story of the tortoise and the hare, right? The hare will run off and got comfortable at some point, laid down and rested and everything. And then the next thing you know, here comes the tortoise, slow and steady. And before you know it, they've won the entire thing. It's about knowing your role in the journey, your destiny, your purpose in being. You can't find that when you forget that you're an actual human being and not a robot, a slave, garden tool, so to speak, or an outdated piece of the farm equipment. And if you understand what I said there, you understand a host of things. You are not a slave to the machine. You are not a slave to anybody. You're a human being capable of amazing things when you recognize the God in you and your journey. You picking up what I'm putting down? I know. You gotta open your mind, your crown chakra. You gotta get it all in. Here, you see. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started out talking about fighting and pimping. And now I'm talking about becoming one with the Most High. That's the journey. You gotta go back to the beginning, to the root of where you came from. Yet, do not dwell on it. Do not continue to speak that old life into existence, because all you do is have or live in a cycle of violence. And until it destroys you or someone around you. When you can see the cycle, you can become the change needed to break it. And generational curses too. That's what God has in store for you. When you seek to achieve alignment, equilibrium, a peaceful existence between you, the Most High, the universe, the earth, and everything in between. We do march. We sell ourselves short in amazing ways. You know, even to this day, there are things I continue to work on. Telepathic communication is not my cup of tea. Other people enjoy it. And so I've had to find a way to balance that thing, right? The spiritual gifts that my Father has given me, how to bring them into harmony with this vessel known as a human being. You know what I'm saying? How not to overuse them or abuse them or go about speaking terrible things into existence while still speaking the truth about the existence of terrible things. That's the most important thing. Not rocking the boat, so to speak. Yes, March. Spirit don't have an off button, and when you got a bunch of other people like you, Sister E. and Von Eric, um, and all of us get together, it's just it can be overwhelming until you learn how to hone your gifts into skill, well crafted, and then put them to good use without manipulating anyone, anything, anybody. Like I said, not rocking the boat, yet navigating the system, knowing which way to go and how to stay afloat. So if there's homework for today and the next few days, it's March Harris, Von Eric sent me an email and asked for a pass from class. So mind your business. All right, look at you trying to get your classmates in trouble. You're so messy, March. That is not how you get to the front of the class. That is how you get beat up by the class at recess. Now chill out. I do appreciate all of you showing up for me in all the ways that you do. Sending me an email to tell me, hey, I ain't forgot about you. I just got some things that I got to do. That's amazing. My gentleman friend is on a journey of his own right now. And so there are times that we won't speak for 24 hours. Now I'm going to tell y'all this last thing about me, and then we'll get into the homework. When I first decided that I was going to leave my spouse, I realized that I would be in emotional interactions, or I might even be dating other people. And I needed to put some boundaries really on me, not the other person, so that I wouldn't act out of emotion. And recently I realized that was just a trauma response, and even that was in some ways emotional. But here's how it goes. Basically, if I text, email, or call you and you don't respond in 48 hours, I'm deleting your information out my phone. That was a few years ago. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna have to peace out, pimpin'. Can't do it because I don't ever want to get caught in an emotional mindset and call you and emotionally vomit, overshare, make you feel as though I'm so attached to you that I can't let go of you. But I realize it's a trauma response to having a neglectful spouse, the person that I'm supposed to be able to attach myself to was distant, was neglectful of his, not just his responsibilities, but his relationship with me and the children and damn near everything in between. I mean, really, seriously, if he didn't have to get up and go to PT and work every day in order to receive a paycheck, he wouldn't, if that makes sense. Now, you say that most people wouldn't, but that's not true. When you love what you do, you'll do it for free. You'll do it until someone else recognizes the value in what it is that you are doing. And that can take a lifetime. Now, that is not to say you need to stay in a relationship where no one recognizes your value. And so I left my marriage mentally long before I physically left. Do you understand? Once I realized that he saw no value in what it was is to have me as a mother to his children, a wife who was present. Once I realized that he didn't see the value in those things, I stopped respecting him. And I left mentally when our children were of an age, or actually, let me be honest, when I was in a place where I could provide for myself and the children without him. I left him physically, which is why for the last 10 years he's been fighting this divorce to the point where he even filed after me in another state because he wanted to try and get me, catch me off guard or some weird shit like that. But I am one who can see well into the future, and I already knew the dirt that he was doing. And yet, outside of speaking my truth, I've not fought back at him. Well, okay, to be honest, I did. There was that little time in the beginning of the year when I was lighting up all of social media, telling the truth about the lived experience of our relationship and his unwillingness to give me a divorce, because that is tangible information. That is evidence put on display that the world could understand why I walked away. Not that I needed them to, but this divorce is long overdue. And until I spoke my truth, no one would believe it. They would take his side of the story and believe that I just was okay with him living like husband and wife with a side chick on my dime. Because you see, that's what it is. When we part ways, he has to pay me, even when he could not see the value in me. That is why there is an alimony system. Because of men like him. Not all men. Men like him. And I'll point it out. Yes, March, the last measure of control that he has over me is this one document, a divorce decree, and a signature. After that, the finances come to me. And I am able to do a host of things. Once again, without it. That time is coming. This week, I've got things lined up. Let me put that a different way. This week, the Most High has lined up amazing things in my favor. And they will go in my favor. And should they not, it's because he closed another door so another one could open that was bigger and brighter and full of more favor and blessings than that man who couldn't see the value in me could ever give to me. So that's it. Your homework for today is to see the value in 1, conserving your energy, 2, putting positive energy out into the world, 3, being a being of peace. When you go throughout your day-to-day, recognize the number of times you do something with an excessive level of energy. I'll give you an example. Those of you with a vehicle. When you close your car door, how hard do you close it? How much energy is actually required to close that door versus what you're putting into it? When you walk up to a door today, how much energy is it going to take for you to take it or pull it open and hold it open for the next person? Can you bid them peace in the process? March says, blessed are the peacekeepers, for they are the children of God. Can you be a being of peace in a world full of chaos? Can you bring order to things that are in disarray? Can you control the chaos until it becomes creation? That's the measure of any of us. Man, woman, and child. Even your children can be taught to control their anger, to focus it on something else. Positive reinforcement creates positive realignment. And positive energy begets positive energy, begets positivity. Till you get a charge big enough to hit them with a, never mind. A fireball of positivity. Shout out to my anime fans. It's time then for all of us to take a stand for change, for peace, for positivity, for prosperity through peace and positivity. Not tearing people apart or tearing them down. That's one of those amazing things about anime. It teaches character amongst a host of other things. There are some very gluttonous anime characters, I'll give you that. Yet, when you recognize the amount of energy burned creating a thing, you can see the need for, lack of a better word, excessive eating. You know what I'm saying? No problem, Sister Enage. I appreciate you for joining the conversation and listening in. We're going to get ready to get out of here. We've been here for an hour. You've got your homework assignment. Be peaceful today. Don't slam anything. Don't huff and puff. Do speak peace. Provide positive energy. Be the change you want to see in the world. It's time for us to become change makers, not just way makers, so to speak. Change one thing in your life today. What did I always say? Do different daily until you become the difference in the day. How about that? I love you all. God does too. Sister Enage, be careful on that call. Something about a wall and the ball. The spirit be doing stuff. I don't know why spirit likes to rhyme, but anyway, I just be letting it go. Be mindful today. Be a place of peace for the people around you without giving away all of your energy. Keep your spirit up. We'll see you in the streets. Peace.